Life, merriment.
Survival for expats.
In the concrete forest.
On Friday nights.
Hi guys, welcome back to You Can't Sit With Us, the weekly show where we get wasted. Woo! We're going to wait till Cassie opens her drink till we cheers.
Okay, well,
Slacker on the job.
Slut.
Okay.
Okay, cheers,
Happy
guys.
time, cheers.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It's Friday, Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
Fun fact, I went to Rebecca Black's
The Ali's #1 claim to fame.
I haven't heard the story.
Okay, so should we get to
The good stuff.
the good stuff?
So, guys,
Something very interesting
unusual.
happened. Yeah.
Unusual for me happened. I got into a fight on the internet. Don't know if you guys know that this is something that happens. I like to give fights on the internet. I like to make fun of people on the internet.
I mean, to be fair, it's just you in real life, but on the internet. Like, the stuff that you say to people online is the same stuff that you'd say to me IRL.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
it's not an online persona. You're not hiding.
I'm not a
behind
keyboard warrior. I'll say this shit to you IRL, bitch.
Yeah.
I'll say it. I don't give a fuck.
You're not a URL Batman.
Yeah, so basically this woman posted, actually Croc posted on his Facebook saying that it was good. The article.
Shake my head, crocodile.
Shake my head. Abby's decided, by the way, SMH means so much hate.
That's what I
Instead of shake my head.
I thought it meant that.
Oh my god, you're the new two-in.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So much
hate. So much hate.
But now she like used him like SMH. It's so much hate.
Should we change it?
Yeah. Change it, proof. Change it, proof.
Change it, proof.
And SMDH used to shake my damn head.
Shake my dickhead.
So much dickhead. So much dickheads.
Yeah. so many
All of
dickheads.
lines by her phone.
Yeah. Let's not make up alternate meanings because we're just all. We'll get too confused. Anyway, so this woman wrote this article about things I wish I knew before I moved to Hong Kong. Oh, by the way, guys, MIHK operator, can you turn down the music? Sorry, Anon. Thank you. Sorry, guys, we didn't realize you guys could hear that. Yeah, so this woman posted this article, things I wish I knew before moving to Hong Kong, and it was just a list of the most screamingly obvious things. Like, if you typed Hong Kong into Google, this would immediately come up. Like, for example, oh, they don't speak Mandarin there. Don't tell people ni hao.
And also things like, if you think your house is on fire, it's not.
Yeah, it's just people burning incense, and it was like, what?
But it wasn't going into any background culturally about
No,
why these things
just,
happened in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it was just like one list of things. So there's some things that I didn't think all of it was completely terrible, but a lot of it was.
Yeah.
And if it was more memes and then a little bit of background, like if she did it more BuzzFeed style, that would have been better.
Yeah.
I'm not saying BuzzFeed's like the pinnacle of all, listicles.
Yeah.
But like they have a very good system. They have a title, a picture, and then some information in the background, not just like list.
And it was just really like, anyway, so I commented and I said, wow, this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever read. It was really like, as a Hong Konger, reading it, you cringe,
yeah.
right? You're just
and even as an expat, like I've been here almost 5 years, this is something that I cringe at.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And like I moved here within a week and knew nothing about Hong Kong, and still like if I moved to Hong Kong then and posted this, I would have been like, wow, this girl's dumb.
Yeah.
It's like moving to the UK and being like, did you know Wales and Scotland are separate
Oh yeah,
countries?
she was like,
They are.
Hong Kong and China are different. Make sure you know. I'm like, just like. Anyway, so I comment saying it's embarrassing. I tag Ali. We have a bit of a laugh about it, and this woman just goes totally on the defensive. Oh, you guys are attacking me. Blah 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 blah.
Playing the victim, but she tries to be really sarcastic, being like, you guys are so sad because you're hating on my amazing
And then
article.
she's like, I looked up your show on YouTube. It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
And you're like, yeah, welcome to You Can't Sit With Us, the weekly show where we get wasted.
Woo! I'm like,
Yay.
I'm like, do we purport to churn out good content? No, but are we fun? Like, that's the thing, like, that's the thing. So she later, after all of this, first of all, she was commenting all over everything and kept being like, I'm going to leave now, and then coming back and just making things worse.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, Cassie was trolling. There's no doubt about it. You were trolling, and the last thing you want to do to a troll is feed it. Like, I think if she just said sorry, it would have been a lot more.
Oh, yeah, but she was defending herself.
It was the way that she was so precocious about it, being like, actually, I know more about media than you. Actually, I know more about writing than you. Actually, I know more about Hong Kong than you.
I do viral content all the time, which later we disproved. But, so yeah, anyway, and then her boyfriend jumps in and...
I found that was bad. I personally, because what he was writing was actually like very rude to people. He was very aggressive. His sentences were terribly structured. And at the end of the day, this was to do with something that she wrote poorly, where she made mistakes. If she had just said, I'm sorry, and I realised that some things that were going to come across as ignorant and disrespectful to someone's culture and their like, background.
Well, yeah, so the background to this is that, I don't know, people were commenting and somebody went on his profile and he's got pictures wearing this, you know, Chinese hats, and like one of the girls was like, I'm Chinese, that's offensive, don't do that. And he was like, oh, I'm not racist. I was teased for my Irish accent at school. And we were just like, no.
As if a load of us haven't been teased for our voices, but doesn't mean it's racist.
But like, it was so, it was
like, you want to talk about someone getting teased for their accent? Hello.
Yeah, but like the other thing was, so, yes, and then somebody was saying to this girl, like, a genuine criticism, because I was just shit posting, right? I was just like writing random shit and being annoying. But they said to this girl, they said, look, like, the article's okay, like, you don't deserve to get this hate, but you obviously haven't had the local experience. And she replies, I live in Kowloon and I work as an English teacher. I've got the full, and I was like, she did not just say that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, she's like, I'm about as local as you can get, and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake, girl, you're making it
like
worse.
Those exact words, like, it's like she'd never heard anyone make fun of English teachers before.
Yeah. It felt like every time she made a comment, she just dug herself deeper and deeper.
I know.
And every time she did it, she just became across as more insincere and more disrespectful. And that was like, personally, I said like one comment just simply about the fact she said that you could get a 30-minute taxi in Hong Kong for $30, which is very inaccurate.
Yeah, she's like,
It's not an Uber, it's not right.
It is super cheap, don't get me wrong.
It
it's
is,
so much cheaper
it's
than
very
UK,
cheap, but it's not that cheap.
No.
And it's everything.
It was just like not
everything was just an
researched.
exaggeration or a massive stereotype.
Yeah.
It was like, don't go to Sang Pun if you don't like smelly fish. It's like, well, that's a massive generalization.
Yeah,
of
Sang Pun is a big area.
and it's not just smelly fish, and that's rubbish.
And I hate that she was like, I live in Kowloon, so I know everything that's local. I've lived in Kowloon 5 years. I've lived in Mongkok, I've lived in Tak Kok Choi, I've lived in Sam Soi Po. I know the local area, and I still would have been like, I'm so local, I know everything local, excuse me, Queen Local over here, I'm Gweilo McGweilo.
she's been here for 10 months, and she's purporting to know all this stuff. So anyway, so this continues on, people are sharing my post, blah, 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 and the post is like blowing up, and she then... The day after, writes an article saying what it feels like to be cyberbullied. And I was like, this bitch clearly doesn't know me, because that's like the best orgasm I've ever gotten in my life, bitch.
Also, fuck her, this is the best show ever.
Damien
Lude, where can I read more of this person?
On my personal Facebook, if you guys are friends with me on Facebook, you can see the whole saga taking place. You won't see her comments though, because that's on another post. She didn't comment on my post on my Facebook. It was on a forum. So anyway, so she writes this whole article being like, oh, maybe we should share the cyberbullying article on our fan page.
We'll share the archived ones, and then she doesn't get.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll probably share it on our fan page, www.facebook.com/YouCan'tSitWithUsHK. If you guys want to read about that.
But see, my thing is, okay, I feel mixed feelings about this, because you tagged me and I was like, oh my God, rolling my eyes so hard they are strained, and she was like, oh, that must be so painful, you should see a doctor. I'm like,
and I was
ooh,
like,
good snap, girl.
I was like, Lorraine, you should come to comedy. She's like, my name's Lydia, and I'm like, okay, Lauren. It's like, sorry, I'm dyslexic.
And she's like, I can teach you literacy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, clearly not. Have you read your blog?
Yeah. Well, what's her name? Her name is Lydia Rose Smith.
Smith with a Y and
SMYTH is her last name.
Can I tell them her website?
Yeah, her website. No, we don't want people clicking on her website. Okay. We have an archived version.
Go to Facebook.
Yeah, we have an archived version, so you guys can click on it. We'll put it on our fan page during the break.
Basically, one of the biggest points is like she was bragging so much. She's like, well, I've got like on her site, I was cyberbullied and I went viral. And she had 12,000 hits. I'm like.
That's not viral by any
stretch of the imagination. I mean,
not at all.
And so like just to stop her from being like, I'm actually super famous. I've actually had like many viral posts, which our friend Chris, who's a growth hacker, like went onto a website and was like not true at all and posted a stats, which I think was too far to do it publicly, but it was still kind of good to know that she was bullshitting, even though we knew she was.
Yeah.
Well, I think. Sorry,
I don't think he should have posted it on the
I thought that was because
he got banned anyway. But like,
I think it was cruel, and I think it was way too far.
I don't know if it was cruel. I think it made sense in the context, but it's just like the wrong. Like if it had been like a post on like shit posting or like living in Asia, ironically, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But it's just because it's Hong Kong expats, and they like. I can see that it would like trigger people and move people to her side.
But also it's like 3 days after it happened or 2 days after it happened, like it's kind of not relevant anymore. If it happened on the day, then people will be like, oh well.
Now everyone's like, who's Lydia Rose?
Yeah. But I think my biggest issue was like at the point when it happened, I was like, it's shit and stupid, but whatever. But when she posted that blog saying that she'd been cyberbullied, that kind of pissed me off because
it made me
a few years ago, there was a website that I won't name because I don't want anyone going onto it. There was a website created similar to a Gossip Girl style thing.
I had that as well in high school.
It was an anonymous thing, and it was in the UK, and it targeted lots of different schools, and where people would anonymously email in whoever the server was.
We had this as well. The girl went to jail that one. She hacked that email.
It was serious. So people would post in rumours, and there were horrible, disgusting, cruel things were said about my sister, who at the time was underage. Yeah. And these were things that were very vulgar, and they were talking about sexual acts, and they were describing her, and not only that, but that included death threats. Death threats of a girl who wasn't even 16. Yeah. My sister was in a horrible state, and it was humiliating for her and my parents having to read.
Yeah, exactly. Like a few people getting
nothing. That is nothing. Okay, what she got was nothing.
Yeah.
People poked fun at her badly written blog that made her look ignorant and
like a simple basic white girl.
Yeah. And to turn that around and say she had been bullied, she knows nothing.
I had a girl.
I can show her what real bullying looks like to a 14-year-old girl, calling her a slut and a scumbag and saying she should hang herself. Yeah. That is cyberbullying.
Well, I mean, that's what a girl commented on my status earlier. She was like, dude, I was cyberbullied. I was in therapy for years. Like, this isn't cyberbullying, my dude.
This is just
some people poking fun of your shitty fucking article. We didn't attack her personally at all.
No.
There were some people that went a bit farther. They were, well, I mean, not a bit farther. They were like, oh, she's vegan, or she works at this place. But she really clung on to the fact that people were making fun of her job, which, by the way, she's not qualified for. Yeah. And then also her, like, being a vegan. It's like, no one's really caring about that. Like, it's too far, but, like, no one cares.
As Abby was saying earlier when we were discussing it, it's not like anybody made comments on her appearance. Nobody made comments of her, like, personally. There was, like, okay, fine, the vegan thing, who cares? Like, fine. But that's information she's put up on her blog. No one's going through her social media.
Exactly.
No one's, like...
No one's pinpointing
out
photos.
And I've got a story too, but we need to go to a break right now, so we'll carry on with this segment after the break.
Okay, we love you.
Okay, bye, guys.
經錯過我哋精彩嘅節目，而家上嚟呢個網址就可以訂閱晒我哋8大頻道，付費之後仲可以重溫晒所有精彩嘅節目。記得要訂閱我哋嘅 YouTube Channel 同埋讚好我哋嘅 Facebook 專頁啊！